Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another clash of Gridiron Titans in today's installment of Season 7 of the SFLm. Tonight, both teams are fighting for their chance to be in the playoffs as the Albuquerque Atoms, with their 2-3 record and coming off of a win last week, are visiting the Ottawa Cavalry, who are still 0-5 this season, but mathematically still in it for the playoffs. Tonight with me as my partner and co-host, co-analyst, Cameron Duty, who will be my co-caster. On the broadcast booth is Cameron Irvine. Shout out to everyone watching us on YouTube. How are you tonight, Cameron?
I'm doing good, Mark. It's good to be with you today, buddy. Like you said, mentioning they're 0-5 coming in, but Ottawa's still in the fight. If they could begin today, we'll go over all the different scenarios as things go on. But it's going to be a fun night of football, buddy. I think we're going to really enjoy this, and hopefully we'll see a good competitive game. And just excited to watch some football on a Friday night.
It is a very important game for both teams tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves because the stage is set and the stakes are high for the playoffs at least. The intensity is palpable as the kickoff team is out there in the field. Who will win this game? We shall see tonight. And the ball is kicked off. The Atoms will receive the ball, picked up in the 5-yard line, and will be brought down. Albuquerque will start in the 24-yard line of the side of the field. This is the Albuquerque offense, as we mentioned, 2-3 record. Their offense featuring the infamous or famous Josh Slap, their running back, incredible running back so far for them. This is their first play of the game. Under center is type attack with Slap in the backfield. 3 receivers bunched to the right. Attack will look to pass. Attack taking his time. He will throw downfield to the middle. That is a first down and a nice gain for them. Let me introduce you to the offense of Albuquerque. That was Patak making the throw. Catch made by number 87, the tight end Thomas LeClaire. They are both joined by Josh Slap, the halfback we mentioned earlier. Wide receiver Sam Harrison, Joe Idol, and Bob Wood, and the other tight end is Finn Riley. Here comes Albuquerque Atoms again, and their second 1st and 10. Attack looking to pass again and throws down the middle again, and another good pass down the middle. What a start by the Atoms, Cameron.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want to do. You come out swinging, basically. I mean, you want to hit a home run right off the bat. They're targeting their wide receivers on kind of similar routes right there, going across the middle. So far, it's working, and they got to be feeling pretty good about things thus far.
Now in the I formation, but Patak will still look to pass instead. But wow, well defended in the short pass situation as the target was Finn Riley, but the defender jumped on that ball.
Yeah, Devontae Moore came up and made a big play right there, jumped off the route there. He saw the direction that Patak was looking and just about come up with an interception. Could have even been a pick six. There was nobody in front of him. Nevertheless, they get a chance at it again here on 2nd down.
Still in the same formation, the I formation, as Patak is under center, taking time on the snap. Here's the snap, and here's the handoff. Slap will take the ball, and Slap will be able to get 9 yards before being brought down by Devontae Moore, amongst others. Here's the defense of Ottawa Cavalry. The defensive tackle is Ralph Leopold. Linebackers are Tommy Wilbrock Buse, Dusty Kilbrew, and Logan Thronberg. Cornerbacks are Kippa Jones and Roy Towers. And safeties are Devontae Moore, Matt Ryan, and J.J. Winfield. 3rd and 1 after that 9-yard carry by Slap. Slap will get the handoff to him once again, and he gets a first down for his team after a 5-yard gain.
It's going to be an interesting point to follow as this game goes on, Mark, is going to be this offensive ground game right here of Albuquerque going up against, of Ottawa and Albuquerque. They're going up against each other. This Ottawa defense right now really needing to come up with some big-time stops, try to limit the ground game. They've had some kind of weakness in that territory. We'll keep an eye on it.
One player to keep an eye on has been Patak all night. He had been good the first 2 passes, but now he makes his 3rd incompletion of the day as he tried to target Thomas LeClaire, but it's an incompletion.
Indeed, that's something that this Albuquerque team is very good at, is mixing up pass run, getting you kind of lulled into a sense of awareness there. You think that they may be looking pass, they go pass heavy, they come back with a big run. They're very good at their play schemes right here, making it very difficult for defenses to read.
Attack looking to pass out of the pro set, and he does find his man. That is a 4-yard connection and sets up a 3rd and 6 completion to Joe Idle.
A nice job right there, just to get the reception. Some short yardage, of course, but hey, anything is better than nothing, and that's going to make the 3rd down more manageable here. Now, if you are Ottawa and you're playing behind the 8 ball today, coming in 0-5, knowing you've got to win out, now's when you need to step up and make a big play and set the tempo for your team.
They're in their formation that they started this drive with a slap in the backfield. Fake handoff to him, and a pass to the outside to his right is a completion for another 1st down. And to your point, Cameron, Ottawa, this is where they were supposed to step it up, but they are unable to get off the field.
Indeed, and that's exactly what I was getting ready to say there. I mean, they really needed to come up with something big. They got the pressure around the outside, but the defensive coverage there on the corners, it just wasn't there. And a great route run by number 14, Marcus Brody, to come up with that one. And again, back to the drawing board for that Ottawa defense.
Attack finding his backup wide receiver, sprinkling passes all around. Under center once again is Attack with 8 minutes to go in the quarter. Good pass to the outside. That is his 2nd completion to Joe Idle. Sorry, that's number 19, Bob Wood, with the 1st catch of the evening.
Yeah, same route pretty much there, just not as deep, a little bit more shallow with Bob Wood that time on that route. But again, just a good pickup right there, and they're good at that, just chipping away a little bit. A yard here, a yard there at a time. It really sets them up well for when they need to try to convert.
Dak was in shotgun and had both backs next to him. He throws to the left side and sets his team up for 3rd and 3. And Cameron, it looks like Albuquerque likes just chipping away at their 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, setting up a 3rd and short situation. Do you think this might be a handoff to Slap?
It could very well be. We saw them go that route earlier in the game, and it worked well for them. Their offensive line putting up some big lanes right now for them to run through.
Oh, well, Slap did not get a handoff here. Instead, Dak tried to throw the outside, and look at that. Once again, Devontae Moore with a pass deflection that could have gone for a pick 6.
And that's the 2nd time that Moore had his hand on the play there so far in this game. We're not too far into it here, and you've already seen his name come up twice. He's hungry for a pick, but now that was a big play for Ottawa right there to relegate them to a field goal attempt. So they got to be feeling good about that. Got to put a check mark in their corner for that.
Absolutely. So Ottawa forcing Albuquerque to settle for 3 points. A solid drive nonetheless will be dotted by this field goal. 29 yards is good, and Albuquerque is on the board 3-0. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and the role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete in the virtual gridiron. For more info about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, it's football for everyone. After that drive that ends in a field goal, Albuquerque will kick it back to Ottawa. Their returner picks it up inside the 5, and that's where they will start in their 24-yard line. And Ottawa will try to have to answer. Cameron, what are you looking at for this offense?
Well, I think that you got to be feeling pretty good right now. Your defense helped you just kind of keep Albuquerque at bay with a field goal, and right now I think that you need to come out aggressive. I think that this is something you got to keep your foot on the pedal all game long. I think you kind of start spreading the ball out in a pass formation as soon as you can.
Well, they were in a little bit of some pass formation, but Salmons gets the handoff, gets the first call of the evening, but actually not even a yard gained officially, according to the referees. It's 2nd and 10. This is the Ottawa's offense. You saw Dwayne Salmons right there with the handoff. Tyler McCall was the quarterback. Wide receivers Henry McGee, Ryan Davison, Darius Darius Iniguas, and your tight ends are Azami Mihara and Abad Ruiz II. Salmons will once again get the handoff. That is a 4-yard gain for him, and it sets up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, they did a good job right there to try to just get some positive yardage. Again, knowing that you're probably going to go into this with a 3rd down conversion. What you don't want to do here, you do not want to go out on a 3 and out. You want to try to sustain a drive here. That's important to not turn the ball over quickly to a very powerful Albuquerque.
Ooh, and look at this. Out of a spread formation, it turns into a run play as they give the ball to number 8. Or actually, they don't give the ball. It's Tyreek McCall who just runs forward in a quarterback run play. And that gets into 1st down. First trick play I've seen in both the SFLm and the Major League in a while.
That was really neat. I mean, it really was. It was a gutsy call, and honestly, I liked it. He's got the speed and the skill and the strength to hold on to that ball and try to get some yardage.
Well, here comes McCall once again. Throws to his left side, finding his receiver. That is a 4-yard gain, and even last week, that is the route that he has been exploiting a lot on. Despite the loss, you see the Terry McCall outside pass working wonders last week. Unfortunately, did not net them a win. And now, 2nd and 6 in the backfield is McCall and Salmons. McCall under shotgun. Salmons was there for extra protection, but the pass to the outside is good. That gets them the 1st down, and they are now in Ottawa's 48-yard line.
Let's give some credit right there to Tyreek McCall for his awareness. He could see that the defender was closing in rapidly, trying to wrap him up in the backfield, and he was able to complete that pass. Not only get rid of it, but able to complete that there to McGee for a 1st down.
And this is a 1st down in Ottawa's 48-yard line. McCall once again setting up to pass. This time, not able to avoid the pressure. And Cameron, to your point, first time around, good job, credit to McCall, but the pressure by Moses Marksman, too much for him, not enough time for McCall to throw the ball out.
Yeah, Marksman come in there and just manhandled the tight end there, and basically what that does, you think you have a little bit more time to stand in there in the pocket, and there just was no opportunity. So yeah, that's the first setback so far of this series, I'd say.
Here comes pressure again, almost getting to McCall, and had to be forced to throw outside to a swing pass to Dwayne Salmons, which goes nowhere. And in fact, I think that's a tackle for loss awarded for the defense.
Yeah, indeed. And now all of a sudden you're starting to see this Albuquerque defense strengthen. We know that they're good. We know that they're very talented and good at coming up on big-time plays when they need to. All of a sudden, in 2 plays, they've turned up the heat.
Well, a big-time play will be needed from Ottawa, trying to convert 3rd and 17. They're trying to go for another quarterback-designed run, but McCall goes nowhere. Not the type of play I'd try to draw up in this situation, Cameron.
I agree 100%. I'm not really sure what the thought was on that play scheme. Maybe if you're looking at a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, but not on a 3rd and long. It's just kind of felt like they thrown the down away right then.
Well, that will force Ottawa to punting on their first drive of the game. Albuquerque off of defense. And look at this. The punt returner makes one sweet spin move and will set them up to start in their 27-yard line. Wow, that's defense turning into a good special team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a nice job there. Got them out to some comfortable field position with about 3 minutes and some change left here in the first. They would love to try to extend their lead early on.
We got the pro set once again, as Patak will line up under center. 1st and 10 with 3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Patak looking to pass, trying to relocate, and oh boy, 3rd pass in this evening in the first quarter, deflected by the Ottawa defense. If there's one thing the Ottawa defense is doing well, it's deflecting those Patak passes to the outside.
It is. They've showed up to play today. They really have. I mean, let's give credit to Tommy Wellbrock-Bousset there, number 41, the inside linebacker, coming in 6'3", 247, and coming up with some big-time deflections. Now let's see if they can convert deflections into interceptions.
Well, there will be no interception in this play as the handoff to Slap goes for 3 yards. And I wish we'd see more of this early on. And now they're going to Slap. Slap is the number 2 in terms of rushing yards in the league total in this season. He has around 657 rushing yards. That's over 100 yards per game, Cameron.
Yeah, absolutely. And a stat that's worth noting there, Mark. Absolutely. We'd like to see them go back to that more for sure. It's a bread and butter for them.
Tackle, look to pass, but wow, he gets sacked this time. Now he feels the pressure of this defensive line from Ottawa. Now both quarterbacks sacked already at least once in the game.
Yeah, Lawrence, number 93, coming in there with a fantastic move to the inside there to get to the quarterback. And again, look here, 4th down, turns it over, and instead of allowing Albuquerque to pull away, they give the ball right back to their offense.
A very quick drive turns into a punt. Ottawa will return it to their 44-yard line with great field position. Visit the all-new league website presented by Football Shift at simulationfl.net, featuring all the league highlights, photo galleries, playoff and minor league stats, and leaderboards, community content, and so much more. The all-new league website is at simulationfl.net. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight in YouTube. We're watching Albuquerque Adams trying to beat Ottawa Cavalry and stay in the playoff race. But here is Ottawa's offense back in the field, and look at that. McCall throws through the middle, and this time is successful. Gets a first down for them. They are now suddenly in Albuquerque's 39-yard line.
Yeah, just like that. And that's the thing with the SFL. Things can change quickly, and really in the time it takes to maybe run one play. And that right there, credit to Ottawa, because McCall stood in there, delivered a great pass, and wasn't rattled by the early pressure that he's felt by this Adams defense.
Here comes McCall, handing the ball off to Dwayne Salmons, and Dwayne Salmons tackled for a loss. Dwayne Salmons struggling against tackles for losses, as even last week we saw him hit several times behind the line of scrimmage, and Albuquerque trying to replicate that defense against him.
Yeah, and so far it seems to be working. Right now it looks like their strong suit is that pass game, the ability to make McCall extend plays and make things happen. That's where they're going to have to really focus at if they're going to come out of here with the W.
Out of 2nd and 11, the handoff to Salmons is very good this time. Salmons will pick up 7 yards as that hole in the middle was taken advantage of.
Yeah, it was. And, you got to give credit where credit's due. We just talked about having a hard time getting any lanes to open up for Ottawa. But then right there, a good job by that offensive line, allowing Salmons an opportunity to run free for a little while there. And now this turns that into a manageable 3rd and 4th. Interesting look here with nobody in the backfield.
Yeah, and 3rd and 4, without that run option, McCall will look to pass. He was under shotgun, looks to the outside, but a pass to the middle, an athletic one-handed catch by Azami Mihara. But the tight end, what a catch by him.
No, that was great. Mihara did just a great job right there coming up with that reception. A little flash there. It kind of looked like it was caught one-handed there. But a really good play design. I thought that it was well executed also.
Spread formation as McCall was under center. And a quick run play. Once again, McCall, this is the third time they called a quarterback run play for him. Picks up 3 yards for them. Cameron, what do you think of this quarterback run play that they've put in their scheme tonight?
It's interesting. It really is. I mean, I think that what they're trying to get that offensive line going, I think they feel like the more that they can do to come up with some unique schemes and kind of continue the drive there, maybe they can get him going in some quarterback rushes, just make something happen on that ground game. So far, so good. Just don't do it on 3rd and long.
So far, so good for both teams this game. That ended the first quarter. First quarter, after 11 minutes of play, the score is still 0-3 in Ottawa. Continuing on to the second quarter, 2nd and 7. This is a handoff to Salmons, and Salmons will pick up about 3 yards for them.
Yeah, back to the point that we were talking about there, Mark, allowing McCall to kind of go for some of the quarterback rushes. It is interesting, but I think you see them rely so heavily on Dwayne Simmons. I think it's an attempt to maybe, even though it may be a little risky, getting another set of legs back there on the ground game, maybe kind of confuse that defense just a little bit.
Salmons is in the backfield once again. And Tyreek McCall tried to pump fake. That kind of gave time for the defense, Jesus Smith, to get home to him for a sack. We have not introduced yet to Albuquerque Adams' defense. That was Jesus Smith, or Jesus Smith, the linebacker, number 52. The defensive end was Evan Miller. Other linebacker, Luis Quintana. Cornerback, Stavius Gordon and Jadobi Dew. Free safeties are Alex Marshall, Al Ingram III, and Meliodas Manning. This drive ends in a field goal for Ottawa. Their chance to tie the ball game. Kick is up and good. That's a 35-yard field goal, and Ottawa will tie the ball game up with 10 minutes, 24 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, a good job right there by Jacobson. A nice field goal. The overall drive here, you got to give it an A, a solid A, maybe even, on the grading scale because they were able to march the ball down the field. Obviously, you want to tack on, some additional points there with a touchdown or so. But, against this defense that is very, very good, I think you got to say that was a very successful drive. Now, can the defense continue to put up the performance that they have and keep this Adams offense at bay?
They will try to keep them at bay and prevent the Adams from going nuclear, as the running game has been a little missing so far from Albuquerque, as Josh Slapp will once again trot onto the field along with a typed attack. Albuquerque's offense has been on and off in terms of trying to match other teams all season. In very close games, they've been in 4 out of the 5 games this season, very close games, as they look to win comfortably this time. This is the first pass of the drive for a 9-yard gain down the middle. It's now 2nd and 1.
Yeah, Sam Harrison on that reception there, 6 foot even, 195, a very athletic receiver there, a guy that they turn to a lot when it comes down to needing to make a big time play.
Well, Josh Slapp will have his number called this time, as he is in the I formation, dotting the I in the backfield. Here comes the handoff to him. Slapp will barely get first down. That's about a 2-yard gain, and they will set up shop in their 37-yard line.
Yeah, got just enough, and as you can see, they're trying to put an emphasis on the run game, getting the run game revitalized. Slapp as well as Patak are returning from last season to really anchor this offense, so it's important to get Slapp involved as well.
Slapp will get another handoff out of the offset I formation, but Ottawa's defense ready for that and bringing him down after a 1-yard loss. Look at that. Once again, Devontae Moore, he's been doing everything, Cameron.
Yeah, he really has. He has really kind of rose to the challenge there and kind of become, I guess you would kind of say, an unofficial captain for this defense tonight with the way that his play has been. I mean, he's really been all over the field, kind of making some big plays and leading this team.
Looking to pass down the middle, and Patak finds his man after a huge play, and then in an instant, they flip the field and end up in Ottawa's 31-yard line. That is Joe Idle. We've called his name once already after a first down gain 2 drives ago, but this time comes away with a huge catch.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great route running by Idle, and he just burned number 27, J.J. Winfield, right there. I mean, he got to the inside on that route, and it was just a foot race. He got ahead of him, come up with a great reception, and like you said, no pun intended, they are explosive.
Here comes Albuquerque once again. The swing pass to Slapp will result in 4 yards. Josh Slapp doing everything for them so far. Despite not getting a lot of yards, he is a willing player and willing to join in the pass play as well.
Yeah, a good team player and also somebody that you can utilize in that department as well. So, when you have somebody like that who's sure-handed and you can send them out on an out route or a little screen, why not? That's a good asset to have.
out of the pro set. Dak will look to throw down the middle, but oh no! A bobbled pass turns into an interception. That is unfortunate. A very promising drive, Cameron, turns to shambles as Ottawa will pick up an interception.
Yeah, that is number 42, Roy Towers, also returning from last season. And we were just talking about Moore, and Roy decides to make his presence known and say, hey, take a look at what I can do. So a great interception right there. Of course, it was up for grabs, and he did a great job of maintaining awareness to bring that ball down.
Despite the interception, Ottawa will look to get out the shadow of their end zone. Here comes the pressure to McCall, who looked to pass. He's able to get it out of his hands in time to pick up a 5-yard gain, setting up 2nd and 5.
Yamahata coming up on that reception, if I'm not mistaken, once more. And a good, safe route, brings it to a 2nd and 5. And like you said, this close to your end zone, you certainly don't want to turn it over, do anything that could cause a short field position there for Albuquerque.
2nd and 5 with 7.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter as McCall will hand it off to Sammons. Sammons had a little bit of a stutter step down there, made some of those linebackers hesitate and picking up 4 yards.
Yeah, indeed he did. I think that little stutter, as you mentioned right there, kind of allowed for about an additional yard or so. So making that a more manageable 3rd down, and you got to imagine they'll look to pound it down their throats again, possibly.
Perhaps, and it's 3rd and 1. Sammons in the backfield did not get the handoff to him because this pass is a completion to Henry McGee on the outside. That's a 4-yard gain and another 1st down for Ottawa.
And just enough. That was a really good play design. And, of course, Albuquerque looking like they're going to challenge here to see if he was able to get both feet in bounds. We'll take a look at the replay as well, Mark.
Yeah, it's interesting because to me it did not look far off from the line. Could have been good. Maybe not the best angle we had. Here's a much better angle, actually, as they switch cameras. That is very much inbounds, Cameron.
Yeah, I have to say, I think this is one of those things where you may come up short there. I looked like he had perfect possession, and there you can see the ruling on the field. It does stand. He had great possession of the football and good footwork to stay in bounds. And so now we'll just have to see exactly if Ottawa can capitalize on that. I thought that was a really good play design. Everybody was thinking run. I was thinking run. And then they come out and they threw what was just a nice little short yardage situation there.
For the record, I too was thinking run, so good job with Ottawa pulling everyone. And here's a hand to Sammons. Sammons, solid running as a little bit of an opening on the edge allowed Sammons to pick up about 3 yards for his team.
Yeah, you were 0-5 coming in here. We've talked about that record a lot, and the fact that they are still mathematically alive, and you want to just continue to keep pounding and try to do different things. And I see some different things they're doing today that so far has worked out pretty well.
Here comes McCall looking to pass deep. That pass is not completed. Mihara was the target for that pass.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Ingram, the 3rd there, that was in on that, kind of jumping up in front of the receiver there to deflect that one away. And that ball kind of hung up there for what seemed like forever, or at least it did to me. It seemed like that had a little bit of altitude on it. Maybe if that had been a little bit more with a zip on it, it could have been completed.
Well, here they go at 3rd and 7. 7 yards to go in the pass formation. Another quarterback run design play. Not close for a 1st down. They only pick up 5 yards, and unfortunately for Ottawa, they are forced to punt once again.
One thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to make a silly mistake. And I have to agree I think that going with that type of play scheme, with that long a distance, it's just not going to work. It's different if it's 2 or 3 yards, but 6 or 8, I don't know. I'm not sure.
And with this punt, Albuquerque will start in their 30-yard line. Man, that quarterback run play is kind of a little bit breaking convention. You don't see that around the league. Speaking of convention, the SFL convention is coming to Cincinnati, Ohio, July 28th to 30th for the season 21 kickoff weekend. For room reservation details and the weekend schedule, see the #convention alerts channel in our Discord server. Rooms are going fast, and some have already sold out. Reserve your special group rate today. We'll see you there. Here comes Ottawa's defense. And a good deflection right there is Albuquerque's first play of the game, results in an incompletion.
Yeah, again, that is Will Brock Busset coming in there on the deflection. Mentioning that convention, that is going to be a lot of fun. I tell you, Cincinnati's a great host city for that convention, a wonderful town I've been to plenty of times. And yeah, if you've not got your tickets yet and booked your rooms, definitely do so. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, 3 backs in the backfield right here. They were looking for perhaps possibly a run play that evolved into a pass play, but the swing pass to number 7, that's the backup fullback, Cy Fiore, becomes a 1-yard loss, unfortunately, for Albuquerque.
So, Ottawa, again, they have forced Albuquerque into another 3rd and long situation, and there's no doubt what Albuquerque's going to go with here as their mark.
3rd and 11, Albuquerque do not have a quarterback run play. They will look to pass. And the pass, however, is short. Can he get to the first down? Oh my goodness. A 10-yard catch or run after the catch was not enough for a first down, unfortunately.
No, but you know what? It's really interesting. We've saw some different things out of both teams so far in this game today, that being one of them. It looked like they were sending everybody deep. They dropped it off short and just about had enough to complete for the first down there. So a really interesting play scheme. I didn't mind it, really.
Albuquerque also will punt after Ottawa's punt, and it is a tight game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still 3-3 after a quarter and a half of play. Once again, both teams playing high-stakes game. This is the 6th game of season 7 of the SFLm, and for Ottawa, trying to keep their hopes up to be in the playoffs. They still have that hope. Meanwhile, Albuquerque trying to keep up with the leaders of the season so far. Ottawa's offense are back on the field. It's trips right with Salmons in the backfield. Salmons will get the handoff. Salmons drags a defender with him and picks up 6 yards.
Salmons, and you can see it right there as he gets up after that handoff. He is a guy that the more you feed him, the better he runs, the more energetic he becomes, and that's something I think they need to focus on here too. I mean, some running backs are just like that. The more that you get them involved, the more results that you get.
Here's a spread formation out of Ottawa. Salmons still in the backfield. Salmons will get the handoff. Salmons tried to split and jump to the left side, picking up only about 1 yard for his team.
Yeah, it felt like the entire Adams defense was right on his back as he was trying to cut ahead there and try to get some positive yardage. So, again, positive instead of a negative, that's always a good thing. But now on 3rd and 3, this Adams defense is getting hungry to come up with a big stop or a turnover.
3rd and 3, 3 minutes, 48 seconds left. McCall will look to pass on the outside. The out route is good for a first down. I do believe that is inbounds, and the completion to Daricas Eniguez will set them up in their 42-yard line.
Yeah, that was a little closer than what that previous challenge was, in my opinion. Talking about possession and seeing if his feet was down, I do believe he was in. That was a great tiptoe reception there, and there you're going to see this drive continue.
And out of the spread formation this time, in the first down play, they go for their quarterback run. McCall looked like he had his stomach hurting on the ground, but he gets up, and Cameron, it's crazy how much they're trying to call this quarterback run play.
Yeah, they're not going away from it, are they? I mean, I think as much as we've seen it thus far, we can expect to see it the rest of this game, whether we like it or not. And I'm not sure that I do. Not this often, anyway. I mean, you've got something good going. Don't slow the momentum down.
Here comes a swing pass to Salmons. He had a lot of room, but unfortunately stepped out of bounds too soon, meaning that he won't gain anything at all.
Something that I'm seeing, Mark, that when they are trying to go with those little tricky quarterback sneaks, those draws like that, that's throwing the entire rhythm off. And you saw it right there on that second down play. They just weren't in rhythm on that pitch and catch. And, I mean, I would suggest straying from that, and as soon as I say that...
Yes, they are not very good at listening to anyone's advice, as the Cavalry will try to force another quarterback run play, and I don't know if it's because of their namesake, the cavalry, trying to ride horses down the middle in cavalry formation. Unfortunately for them, Albuquerque usually quarterback runs, right, Cameron? It's usually meant as a trick play unless
Yeah.
you're a run first quarterback, and if you run it too often, it loses its flair.
No, that's exactly right. That's what I was going to say. I mean, typically, McCall is not a run-first quarterback, and again, I kind of could understand if they wanted to get somebody back there in the backfield who could run every now and then to try to throw that Albuquerque defense off. But right now, I think they're hitting that play just a little too hard.
Now, Albuquerque Adams offense back in the field. All wide receivers on the field, had 5 wide receivers there, and the defense, the defensive front four able to get home. Well, not for a sack, but able to bother Patak enough that this pass is an incompletion.
Yeah, Patak there, he was, trying to hold on to it, trying to wait and see if that any of the receivers rather was able to get open just enough for him to launch that one downfield and instead just about held on to it a little bit too long.
Here's a pro set for Albuquerque with Patak under center, 2nd and 10, 2 minutes remaining. Patak will not wait for the 2-minute warning. Patak will take his time, and Patak did not have enough time. He is sacked with 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning. They will take it all the way to the 2-minute warning. Ladies and gents, with 2 minutes left in the first half, the score is still 3-3. We've seen a lot of interesting things happen in this game, and folks, if you like what you're seeing, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This SFL produces over 400 events a year, and there's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of the SFL or SFLm action, and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation. And oh boy, the defense once again gets to Patak. That's the 2nd sack in a row. Actually, if you count the first play as an almost sack, basically the defense got home to Patak 3 times in a row.
Yeah, 3 times, and a good job by Ramirez right then coming up, and the big guy, threw Patak to the ground. And this has been a game of defenses thus far, and both are playing so well. I would even say Ottawa's playing above their record right now as far as this defense goes.
Absolutely. Keep in mind, folks, Ottawa already forcing a 1 interception against Albuquerque. This punt will be inside from the end zone, and meaning Ottawa will be able to pick it up in the 50-yard line midfield, bringing it up all the way to Albuquerque's 47-yard line. And suddenly Ottawa, with 1 minute 10 seconds to go, are primed for possibly putting points on the board before the half ends.
Yeah, I think that they're in a really good spot right now. A minute 10 left in the half. No need to rush this. You've got all your timeouts, and you've only got 47 yards to go. Just be smart in your play decision.
Ottawa will once again go for the quarterback run play. Tyreek McCall will pick up 6 yards. Everyone watching scratching their heads, but no one scratching their heads more than the defensive coach of Albuquerque, as his defensive player goes to the ground. Evan Miller, their starting defensive end. You don't want to see him go down.
No, not at all. And it's like
No.
you keep expecting them to go away from it, and nevertheless they go back to it. Persistence, I tell you, they just keep trying to make it happen. And I got to say right there, 6 yards, that's good. You got a minute left, though. I don't know how slow you really want to go. I mean, I think you may want to try to pick up some more yardage and not stall out around the 40-yard line.
Well, Sammons is in the backfield, but McCall looking to pass. Tried to pass deep and cut this yardage to the end zone short. That was about a 20-yard pass attempt. Wait, did they say it's good?
I don't believe that they did. I would be surprised if they did. It didn't look like he had possession enough to know
It's
that.
not good. Okay.
Yeah. I think that I almost feel like McCall was kind of calling for maybe some interference there or something. I seen his hands after that deflection, maybe thinking the receiver had a little bit of interference, but no. Nevertheless, it is 3rd and 4 here.
They have pulled the quarterback run out of this formation more than once already this game. I'm not surprised if they go to it. And look at it. They do go to it, and McCall will be destroyed. That's the one issue with trying to do these quarterback run plays, is that your quarterback has a higher risk of getting possibly hurt and injured, as bigger defensive linemen can hit you.
Yeah, hurt and injured, and then you really just kind of squandered the drive that you had. I mean, you were set up on the 47-yard line. You gained 6, and you went to a quarterback run twice out of the 3 plays. I know that they're going to look to try to pin them deep and try to go into the half here with it tied if possible. But, that was a great opportunity there to try to get some points on the board.
And unfortunately, they will have to force the punt. And look at that. Silver lining out of the drive is the punt will have Albuquerque start in their 6-yard line. Now, not much of a bearing, as there's only 11 seconds left in the clock. Barring an Albuquerque miracle, this might be the score line as we head into the half.
It looks to be that way. I wouldn't expect Albuquerque to do anything very risky. I feel like they would try to be pretty conservative, especially with just 11 seconds to go. But we're going to have a lot to talk about as we head into the halftime and into the third quarter here. Really interesting scenarios that has shaped this 3-3 game.
First and 10 inside their 6-yard line. Here comes the snap. As Patak will look to pass. That is good. They're not going to call any of their timeouts as the clock will hit 0. That is the first half of play. The score is 3-3, tied here at Adams Stadium. Cavalry visiting them, and we are having quite an interesting ball game.
Oh, it is. I would almost call this halftime show, sponsored by the quarterback run. I mean, I tell you what, it's been so interesting to see. That's been one of the big takeaways there, in my opinion, is when you look at this Ottawa offense, just how persistent they have tried to be, trying to get the quarterback rushing attack going. But I'm going to give a shout out to the Ottawa defense for holding an Albuquerque offense that is very, very dangerous to just 3 points. This has been a defensive game thus far. I do feel like there has been times that both teams have maybe kept left a couple of points out there on the field. But for the most part, I do think that it's been a defensive knockout. And it's going to be interesting to see if that shifts as we go into the third quarter here. But no, it's been a great game so far, really competitive. And let's give a call here to this Albuquerque defense as well, coming up with some big-time plays. I mean, it's been a defensive game on both sides of the ball. Ottawa obviously coming in 0-5, knowing they have to get a win here, and then Albuquerque doing what they have to do. I've had a lot of fun so far, Mark, and I can't wait to see what the second half has in store.
And the second half will arrive. You mentioned how Ottawa's defense has been playing spectacular and way above their record. You look at the stats page of the website. In terms of points allowed per game, they've allowed 118 points total in 5 games. That's about 23 points allowed per game. And coming into the half, they've only allowed Albuquerque, who has been scoring, middle of the road amongst all the teams. They've limited them to only 3 points. So the defense stepping up their game. And as third quarter is here, they will start and pick up the ball. I'm talking about Ottawa. Ottawa will pick up the ball and start in their 24-yard line. And folks, here comes the quarterback runner. He will position under center with Sammons in the backfield. Here comes McCall looking to pass. Here's a swing pass to Sammons, but unfortunately his momentum takes him backwards before being tackled for a 1-yard loss.
And a very nice defensive play right there by Tavius Gordon, coming in with a big-time tackle, 6 foot, 190 pounds, and he just put all 190 right there on the defender and stopped him in his tracks. Or on the receiver, rather. I'm sorry.
No problem. Dwayne Sammons was the receiver in that play. Dwayne Sammons will get the handoff this time. So 2 plays in a row in the third quarter went Dwayne Sammons' way. Could that have been their adjustment from halftime, trying to move away from the quarterback run? Unfortunately for them, both places Sammons netted negative yards.
Yeah, Moses Marksman give him a call right there. Called his name a couple of times already today, and he come up with that big time tackle to make it 3rd and long.
3rd and long, 3rd and 13. Another swing pass to Salmon. He will get about 6 yards thanks to one spin move, but unfortunately for them, not enough for a first down. 7 yards to go. They'll be forced to punt, and Albuquerque will be able to take the ball back to their offense.
Yeah, once again, consistent, a very nice defense right there by Albuquerque. Almost feel like Ottawa's just trying to get a couple more yardage there to make this punt a little more manageable.
It's been a very stale game in terms of scoring, as both defenses have been stepping up. Score is still 3-3. Albuquerque trying to possibly punch a hole in this stalemate, and it feels like any points on the board feels like just infinite points, as nobody has been scoring in a while.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've had the 2 field goals, and that has really been the story of the game thus far as offensive production goes.
Albuquerque did get to Ottawa's 30-yard line before throwing the interception. Here comes the handoff as Patako will give it to Slap. Slap will get a nice run and picks up 10 yards, enough for first down. He took a little bit of time to get up, but he's up and dandy, good to go.
Slap really did get slapped down on that tackle, didn't he? I mean, that was just the defender extending his forearm there and, man, playing him into the ground. But let's give a call right there to Slap, because he really did a good job of getting out of an early tackle in the backfield to bust to the outside and get some very, very meaningful yardage right there.
He has been averaging around 130-ish or yards per game, I think, if I did my math right. So not surprised that he did well there. But the tackle looked to pass out of a spread formation, and the pass is good after an 8-yard gain. That was to number 86. That is the backup wide receiver, Cedric Wild.
Yeah, Wild doing a good job on that reception. And I must say, it seems just from the early onset of this 3rd quarter that they are trying to mix things up a little bit more, maybe a little more variety there.
And out of the I formation, the handoff is to Slap. Slap tried to break off one tackle, was able to do so, but unable to break away from the second layer of the defense.
Yeah, you had Tommy Wilbrock Busset again, on that tackle, and a host of others as well. And now a big time 3rd and 3 here to see if this Albuquerque offense can get going.
They're putting 3 backs in the backfield, trying to expect a run play, but no, it's a swing pass to Slap instead. And Slap, can he get there to the line? He could not. It's 4th and inches. That was very close, Cameron. What an effort by the defense.
Absolutely. I mean, you had Devontae Moore come up and make the first hit. He was able to shake it off, and then Roy Towers come in and stop him just behind the line. But, man, I just want to say, Slap did a great job there. A lot of effort. And look here. Are they going to go for it, or are they going to just try to draw him off sides?
They do go for it. A run formation instead turns to a pass, but Ottawa was ready for the potential trick play. Turns into a 4th down turnover.
Holy Toledo, there's his name again, Tommy Wilbrock Busset. We've mentioned it a couple of times. He's had some swats already in this game. I was very surprised, just as surprised as I've been with the quarterback rushes that Ottawa's been trying to do. I was very surprised that they actually followed through with that. I kind of expected them to just try to draw them off sides. So, again, intrigue and a lot of excitement going on in this game.
And the fact that it was out of a possibly run play formation, and they had Slap, who was doing okay for them. They did not hand it off to him or throw to him on the swing pass where he was a little bit open. But here comes Ottawa. Ottawa will do the handoff. Oh, goodness me. Salmons could have gone for a lot more yards with the defense converge on him, but not enough. McCall Salmons still brings the first down to the Ottawa Cavalry.
Yeah, and a nice job right there by Salmons, bouncing out around the left side there. And again, just great determination to make sure that he was going to get to that marker there.
Now it's Salmons picking up steam after Slap did a little bit of a solid effort running. Salmons in the backfield once again, but no, will not get the handoff. Instead, McCall will look down the middle and pass for a 9-yard completion. Good pass to Ryan Davis.
Yeah, a very nice job right there. Just again, it's all about solid yardage. That's what you want is to always continue to go forward instead of backward. And again, that was big time right there. Now, if you do want to go back to the quarterback rush, right now here's the time that you want to do it. I do think it'd be risky, but it's much more manageable in these short yardage situations.
Could have been a quarterback rush. They did out of that formation, but instead the handoff to Salmons was good for a first down and more. That was 10 yards extra or after the chains, and Dwayne Salmons is working wonders this drive.
Salmons is. He certainly did a great job this quarter. Coming out of the half, you can tell that they had a game plan that they wanted to stick with, and you're starting to see much more rush heavy options here. And so far, it's working. They found themselves now right around teetering around field goal position here.
Another handoff to Salmons, but this time the defense will get to him. That is a 1-yard loss in Albuquerque. Finally able to get a stop on Salmons, who looked unstoppable 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, and a fantastic job right there by Hand coming up with that one there. Just a really nice stop, putting him in the backfield there. Great job, and now it's the 2nd and 11.
Yes, 2nd and 11. 5.5 minutes to go. Score has still not changed, but the pass by McCall to the middle is good. That is a 6-yard gain, and Mihara will once again take a pass. As here's an update on Evan Miller, back spasm, so he will be out for the rest of the game. With the power and the magic of science, he will be back for the next game, ladies and gents, so no worries about that. Unfortunately, they are missing Evan Miller. That's a big piece of this defense, as McCall will look to pass once again. Oh boy, there are many green uniforms in the middle, but somebody could have gone away with an interception, but Ottawa and McCall just wipes their brow in relief.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an Ottawa player or coach or fan, you were sitting there with bated breath to see if that one was going to fall harmlessly to the ground. Nice job of the Albuquerque defense right there, just making sure that one went for nothing. And again, a field goal, I mentioned that earlier about there being a field goal range, very important, because that's all we've been able to see so far in this game. Nobody has made it to the end zone yet.
Well, Eric Jacobson, 2nd time on the field. He gets the snap and the kick. He puts it up, and he puts it through. 39-yard field goal, and they put 3 points in the board after what seems like an eternity since the last time that they put points on the board.
Indeed, it really did. And again, that's big time for Ottawa right there to go ahead. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Albuquerque can respond as we're working our way down in this 3rd quarter. What can they come out with? Can they be the first team to break through? Will you be able to see them utilize those wide receivers a little more than what we've seen in the past? It's going to be interesting.
Be interesting indeed, and for Albuquerque, trying to keep it interesting, they will start at their 26-yard line. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wanted to be the play-by-play or analyst broadcaster on an SFL live game? Ever wanted to be in the broadcast booth like myself and Cameron? Well, the SFL is looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you to join the team for the minor league season and ahead of the season 21's kickoff in July. So please visit the simulationfl.net/broadcasting webpage for more details on how you can get involved and get your voice to the call. Someone who might not be getting much voice after this game is the offensive the offensive coach of Ottawa. Between their quarterback running game and this time a play that resulted in a yards for loss. Sorry, not Ottawa, Albuquerque. My mistake. This time Albuquerque, as you mentioned, Cameron, they're trying to punch through a 3-point deficit. Here's their pro set in 2nd and 11. Whoa! As Patak had all the time until pressure came to his face, able to avoid one defender, but still gets tackled for a loss.
Yeah, Patak got his bell rung. He was slow to get up right then as well. I mean, good pressure there by the Ottawa defense, and he tried to spin out of that one only to get clobbered.
Well, he will be forced to potentially draw a pass play in 3rd and 12. Attack was in shotgun, and he will look to pass. Looks to his left. That pass is good. Wow. As a well-covered receiver that was number 18, Joe Idol, who has been covered on that route, but he gets the catch anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Idle coming up with probably to this point the most important reception of the game. Of course, that's a great pass by Patak, and take a look at him just lunge. I mean, literally just outstretch, just far enough to make that reception, keep this drive alive. And that was big right there because it just seemed like Ottawa kind of had them reeling a little bit after that sack, and you was kind of expecting it maybe to even go the other way, and instead Albuquerque comes out with a big play.
That was Roy Towers trying to keep pace with Joe Idol. Oh, here comes Patak once again, looking to pass, had a lot of time. Ooh, that completion down the middle was good for a 9-yard gain. And the diving catch, Thomas Leclerc will bring the ball in.
Yeah, that was impressive. A nice acrobatic reception there by Leclerc, and a big time play. We saw him go to him a couple of times in this game, and he's somebody that you may see them try to utilize more. Really good in pass blocking, but also in receptions as well.
Out of heavy set, the handoff to Slap will give them the first down and a little bit more, and Slap, another nice first down for their team, will set them up in Ottawa's 40-yard line, and suddenly they're marching down the chains.
It's one of the reasons that I love football as much as I do. It's all about momentum. It's all about watching how a game can shift when a team gets on a roll like that. And right now, I think we're seeing probably Albuquerque's most impressive drive thus far.
Slap will get the handoff once again, but he spins into the defender as Devontae Moore will bring him down for a 1-yard loss.
And Moore again, we've called his name between him and Wellbrock Busey there. They have been all over this field. Let's throw Roy Towers in there as well. Really great job anchoring that defense tonight.
Albuquerque really liking this formation. The heavy set and the handoff to Slap, who will get the ball the third time in a row. He will pick up the lost yards and more. It's a 6-yard gain, maybe a 5-yard gain. It is 3rd and 6.
And that easily could have been more by Slap, to be honest with you. If he had a little bit more blocking, you could see him kind of setting up there. He kind of slowed up a little bit, and then he just turned on the jets as he cut up field. He was ready to burst through there for a big-time game.
The lone back in the backfield is Slap. There are 3 receivers bunched left. And yes, as Patak will look to pass, he looks to deep left and once again finds a receiver. And the same drive, he's able to complete a big-time play this time to Sam Harrison.
Yeah, Sam Harrison right there, 6 foot, 195 pounds. And, a lot of people are watching these minor games right here, these SFLm games, and these players right here, they're wanting to make a name for themselves, and that's how you do it. You come up with a clutch reception on 3rd down and keeping this drive alive, and now they're in field goal range.
They are indeed in field goal range, but they are looking for the end zone as a nicer score out of this drive. The swing pass to Slap will net them 1 yard, and they are slowly but surely inching towards the final destination.
Sal Fiore with the reception there, the fullback. And a nice job right there getting his number called and just coming up with a good reception. 2nd and 9 as we wind our way down here in this 3rd quarter, Mark.
Absolutely. The 3rd quarter winds down. Albuquerque, the swing pass is a little unfortunate as Josh Slap was out of bounds. Well, not out of bounds. He was in bounds when he got the catch, but his momentum just took him out of bounds, which resulted in the loss, which is unfortunate for them. It's only 1 second between the play clock and the game clock, so we will see one more play before this quarter ends. And in this formation under shotgun, Attack will look to pass and looking deep to the end zone. Wow! He looked at the end zone and he found his one man wide open. That was number 14, Marcus Brody, the backup receiver of all people, will put the first 6 points on the board.
How about that? It took almost an entire 3 quarters to get our first touchdown in the game, but it come at a perfect time for the Albuquerque Adams. They did a great job right there. I think that, as we said, the best drive of the entire game. It felt good. Everything that they were doing, the mix of pass and run, and they just stayed committed to that play scheme. As we said, they used that same set a lot in that drive, and that was the best pass that we've seen all night from Type Attack. Great job and great blocking by the offensive line as well.
And with this extra point, will bring them to a 10-6 advantage. And Albuquerque, in one drive, have flipped the script. And I mean, Cameron, that drive in its entirety has been incredible. You saw Patak really making risks, throwing deep passes, but making good out of those risks, completing to Harrison and completing to Joe Idol, and just great play by the receiver, sprinkled in with some solid running by Slap, and Albuquerque are now on the lead. Ottawa, as the seconds die down the third quarter, will receive the kickoff and will start in the 24-yard line. 1 second left, and in this fourth quarter, anything that Ottawa needs to improve or change to potentially get the comeback.
Yeah, don't go with that quarterback rush. I mean, I hate to say that again, but now, you're really going to turn on the steam right here. You're playing from behind now, and right now you want to try to show that you can move the ball back down the field, and you got to be aggressive doing that. You really do.
Well, McCall will look to pass. McCall taking his time after a pump fake. McCall tried to throw to Mihara, but that ball is deflected, and that will end the third quarter. Albuquerque leading 10-6, as Ottawa will look to fight for their first win of the season, down 4. Folks, it has been an incredible game, and you are watching the SFLm, brought to you by APM Music. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect track for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Ottawa, in 2nd and 10, will hand the ball off to Salmons. Salmons will pick up about 1 yard, 1.5 yards, and it is 3rd and 9. They're down 4, and it feels like the 4 points, Cameron, is 100 points. It feels like they need a lot more effort to score and get back those 4 points.
Oh, it does. It feels monumental because of how difficult it's been to get to the end zone today.
And that's the thing you did not want to see out of that quarterback run play, resulting in a fumble. Fortunately for them, it did not turn out into a turnover, and Ottawa's linemen able to pick up the ball. But Cameron, we talked about this. You mentioned this as the third quarter was ending. Get away from that quarterback run, and look what happened when they did not get away from it. The fumble was forced out of them.
Yeah, I mean, you've played such a good game thus far. Why you want to continue to go that route, I won't understand. Like you said, you also risk potentially injuring your quarterback, and it's a higher risk of turnover. I don't understand that. I really don't. That's going to be something that's going to leave me scratching my head. And I will be honest, if for some reason they do end up losing this game tonight, that's going to be one of the major focal points as to why. Now Albuquerque, on the flip side, they've got the ball and they're feeling hotter than they have this entire game. They're looking to pull away, and we could really see a shift in things quickly.
Now Albuquerque, whoa, oh my goodness. Attack, what a throw by him. Gutsy to try to throw in coverage, but his receiver gets the ball anyway, and 3D threading the needle. Attack will get a first down for their team.
And a great job, great reception by Sam Harrison right there, and a good job by Patak, just literally standing in there and delivering a bullet.
Now in the I formation, possibly they've thrown several times out of this formation, but instead the handoff to Slap will pick up 7 yards before Slap is brought down in a big hit.
Yeah, a big hit by Kippa Jones, the first time we've got to call his name out today. But yeah, a big time, probably a big time play saving tackle right there, because Slap is beginning to really feel good about things.
2nd and 3, 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're trying to get out of this field as Ottawa's defense could not prevent Slap from picking up a first down. The handoff to him was for a 5-yard game, and look at that, another first down for Albuquerque, just matching their previous drive of keeping the chains going.
Yeah, that's right. They have felt a lot better about things after they come out of this halftime. And I think they were just able to zone in on what they needed to do, what hadn't worked, they've thrown it out, and they've come back with a really nice design, a good mix of pass and run. They have allowed Slap to be utilized, and that's opening up your passing game.
Here comes Patak, looking to pass, will throw to an out right to his left as his receiver picks up 2 yards after that play. I believe that is number 19, Bob Wood, perhaps.
Yeah, I think you may be right on that, my friend. I didn't get a clear shot at the number, but I believe you were right, and it was a nice play design right there. Just and the clock will continue to run. That's a big thing right now. The longer that these drives are sustained, the less time that Ottawa has a chance to do anything with it.
And not the thing you want to see when you're down. A penalty from Ottawa's lineman. Despite the penalty, Patak was forced to scramble, but fortunately for them, a penalty will give them a free 5 yards as neutral zone infraction. The defense jumped on that play, and really, it's a little bit of the frustration to Cameron here. You've been doing so far solid. You were able to tie the game in the first half. You got the first lead in a while, putting your team up 6-3, but suddenly the defense is looking down a 6-10 deficit, and that's just
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Ottawa's defense has been their best offense today. And they're getting wore out and they're getting frustrated and anxious. You're starting to see it on a couple of things like that.
Slap will get the handoff. He had some nice blocks downfield, but the defense was able to converge on him before any of those blocks could be taken advantage of. Still, that is a first down for Albuquerque, and they are just grinding down this Ottawa defense.
It's methodical, is what it is. And again, another fresh set of downs. The clock continues to run, and they're right now in the driver's seat.
Here comes Futak, looking to pass out of the shotgun formation. He looks deep, and
Whoa.
in one stroke, number 18, Bob Wood, will get Albuquerque's second touchdown of the evening. And in a hurry, the lead is up to 10. They are now 16-6. Albuquerque looking to seal the deal in this game.
They lulled them into that. I mean, they really did with those short little passes and the running game. And then they just unleashed it. They turned Joe Idle loose. And that he did with a fantastic reception right there. Again, he has been great all game going up one-on-one in coverage, and a fantastic job. And the Adams, again, they're looking to make a mark and go 3-3 here in this young season. And they look like they might very well be on their way.
That was an incredible play as this extra point goes up. By the way, that play by Bob Wood, that is not the first time that he beat and burned Roy Towers in a play. Remember the huge pass and completion he got 2 drives ago where he basically beat Roy Towers in a one-on-one. Very same scenario, but this time much more impactful with the touchdown, and Albuquerque up 17-6. They have never been or won a game by more than 4 points this season, and they are now up 11. Comfortably in the lead. This is technically a 2-score game. They need Ottawa needs at least a touchdown and then at least 2 touchdowns to even out their score.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's tough, Mark. I mean, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball here, and with not a lot of time to do it. Right now, I think you need to be looking down the field and only down the field, deep down the field.
This is a very familiar formation. Thankfully, not a quarterback run coming out of it. Instead, a pass to the outside is good for a 4-yard gain, and that sets up 2nd and 6 with about 7 minutes left in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a good game for both of these teams. It's been an interesting game, and we're getting down to the later portions of it. And like you said, Ottawa, they're 6 minutes and 50-some seconds away from going 0-6. What can they do? This Albuquerque defense has been tough all game.
Here comes Ottawa. McCall tried to take his time and look deep. Nobody was open deep. Had to settle for a dump off down the middle. That was about a 3-4 yard gain, setting up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 here. I mean, Albuquerque's defense locking down. It's almost they're limiting Ottawa to what they are able to do right now. It's the best this defense has looked, in my opinion, the entire game this last few series.
McCall's under shotgun, looking to pass. McCall will throw to the middle. Will find his tight end, Azami Mihara, once again. His reliable target, Azami Mihara, the two-way player for Motor City. And Mihara, there's that not disadvantage, but mismatch between the big tight end like him and the linebackers. And look at that. He made himself open for his quarterback to throw to.
Yeah, he sure did. He has been his most reliant target. The only problem is that we don't see Mihata on a lot of longer out routes, and I tell you what, that's what's going to hurt them right here. Albuquerque has just locked them down to where they really can't do anything deep.
McCall under center will give the ball to Sammons. Sammons picks up 5. That will keep the clock going. I'm surprised they're not in much more of a hurry or urgency, at this point of the game.
I would agree. I would have expected that, but then again, the overall play scheme that we have saw today in this game, it hasn't been a very hurried tempo. I don't know what else they may have that they could go to in their wheelhouse at the moment.
McCall will step back, looking to a pass. He will pass it outside to Sammons. Sammons will pick up a 1st down and will go out of bounds. So good on Sammons, good effort to stop the clock and give themselves more of breathing room to close this gap.
Yeah, it was a good job. For one, a good reception. The ball was behind him. He turned around and bursted upfield in order to get that 1st down. And now you're looking right about midfield right here. The clock now going to continue to run. You got to take a shot deep. I just think it's imperative to try to get down the field quicker so that you may have a chance to get the ball back if you can even stop the Albuquerque offense.
Here comes the hand up to Sammons. That's not going to take him anywhere. And now Ottawa will go to their hurry-up offense out of this formation with Sammons in the backfield. This time not a handoff to him, but the defensive line got home to Tarek McCall. It is now 3rd and 18, 3rd and forever. McCall will have to pull something out of the hat. A big play to convert on this. Here comes the defender once again, the swing pass. Oh, here comes some blocks. Here comes Sammons. Oh my goodness, what a play. It was a desperate play. Sammons made something out of nothing because of those key blocks. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, beautiful blocking. And you think they didn't realize that their season could possibly be on the line? That was a play right there of desperation to keep your season going, and now they have to convert on this.
It's 4th and 4. Remember, the first 4th down was a quarterback run that failed. But here's a swing pass. Oh, Sammons, you have some blocks. Sammons could not make it there in time. And Sammons, the 4th down turnover. That could have been Ottawa's last chance. And with 4 minutes to go and turning the ball over, Albuquerque will look to end and finish their business in this game.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the only option that he had was to dump it off to Sammons, who has really and truly been their workhorse this entire game. And in the end there, you saw when he was able to come down with that reception, a little awkward like there. It just gave Albuquerque an opportunity to just literally zone in. They stormed them, and a nice job by that defense.
Oh my God, here comes the handoff to Slap. Slap will break many tackles. On the edge, will find the open green and picks up 1st down and more. A run by him, a little bit backbreaking because not only is it a 1st down and burns the clock, you're just giving Albuquerque's offense more and more of a chance to widen this lead.
Hey, 74 yards to Slap's credit, which at times it felt like that wasn't even possible. The way that some of the runs were so short there at the beginning of this game. But give Albuquerque credit, they have stuck with it. They've stuck with that run game, and when they haven't been using Slap as a running back, they've used him as a receiver, and it's been a thing of beauty, really.
Slap will definitely be involved in this play as they're really waiting on this clock. Slap will get the handoff once again, trying to cut inside in the middle. We'll pick up 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, 2nd and 6, and right now, as you said, the main objective just to keep that clock running. And right now, Ottawa really doesn't look like they're in any hurry to start trying to use any timeouts of that nature or to try to stop the clock as well. And so Albuquerque, you can probably kind of expect more of the same right here.
You're just about in the fringe of field goal range at the 46-yard line. They do not, or sorry, Albuquerque does have a star kicker, so they are basically in their field goal range. And they are in the I formation, 2nd and 6. Slap will once again get the hand of it. Boy, what a block. Will spring him forward for another first down. And they might have just slapped the nail in the coffin as Josh Slap will pick up a first down on that play.
Yeah, I think that probably did it. If you want my honest opinion, I think that probably was the play that obviously they'll run it down to the 2-minute mark. But my lands, I think that right there, that last first down, putting them on the 18-yard line, and now you're just kind of in cruise control right here. And as I said, Ottawa not really even trying to stop the clock, not trying to make any effort at the moment to try to preserve any time. So I think Albuquerque's feeling pretty good right now.
And unsurprisingly, Albuquerque is in the affirmation. But that brings us to the 2-minute warning, ladies and gents. We started the half 3-3, middle of the third quarter, 6-3. But now the score suddenly bloomed to 6 points Ottawa, 17 points Albuquerque. And Albuquerque looking to finish business in this evening. They are going to line up in the pro set. Josh Slap amongst others in the backfield, and okay. Attack will look to pass on the outside. That is not completed for them, unfortunately. Interesting that still playing aggressive. So I guess credit to them playing aggressive, showing that hey, we're not gonna back down. We're not gonna play loosey goosey. But that could have been a risky play.
It really could have been. I mean, this game isn't out of reach. So you really run the threat of something, an interception and a pick six, turning this thing on its head. So, yeah, you want to be smart right here.
They're back in the I formation. And they will give the ball back to Slap. Slap getting more blocks down the side, and this time Ottawa will start to use the first of the remaining timeouts with 1 minute 50 seconds left.
Yeah, and so they will now begin to try to utilize the clock stoppage there, and you really need to. I mean, 3rd and 9 right here. If they can, negate them to just the field goal. Obviously, it's tough, but it's not out of the question. So right now they're trying to play their cards and hope they get a stop here.
3rd and 9 with 1 minute 50 seconds left to go. Pass down the middle by Patak is good for about a 7-yard gain. And boy, this SFLm game, we started with a defensive struggle as both defenses have been incredible, and then Albuquerque burst into the scene. And these players will be, plenty of them playing to get into the major league, and what a free agency we will have. It's going to be a wild off season, and no day, ladies and gentlemen, no day will showcase that better than the opening day of free agency. And so if you'd like to watch our free agency, join Cameron Irvine as well as his guests throughout the day to watch free agents come across the wire in real time. And the frenzy starts Monday, June 12th, as this field goal is good. The free agency frenzy starts Monday, June 12th. That is 3 days from now, and that major league free agency will be a thing to watch. Here comes Albuquerque. They have done their business. The score is 6-20. Pretty virtually out of reach, bar a miracle, Cameron.
Right, yeah, you're exactly right. The field goal right there just pretty much sealed the deal. Like you said, a miracle. If it were to happen, Ottawa would get 2 quick touchdowns, but I have yet to see any offensive production to that nature that would make me think that it's something we'll see in the next minute and a half. But hey, that's why we play the game. It doesn't end until the clock is at 0. So we'll see what this next 99, listen to minute 39 has to offer. Excuse me.
here comes Ottawa once again in their spread offense, and once again in their quarterback run play. In a very must-score quick position, they opt for their least effective run play, and they still keep at it. I mean, it's been their only play at least 80% of the time out of this formation. This has been the quarterback run play.
Yeah.
In third time in a row. Hey, this time it gets him the first down. McCall will get the first down by himself for the first time in this game. Fortunately for them, it is a clock burner of a play.
Oh, it is. I mean, you'll see them continue to repeat that there, simply because I think they're down to their final card for whatever reason. It just looks to me they're not very confident in their receivers at the moment, so they're just going with some semblance right there to kind of run this clock out and see if they might get lucky and be able to burst a big run down the middle.
Ooh. And in third and down situation, they finally called their timeout. It was looking ugly down there on the field, and I was waiting for them to call their timeout to get out of that formation that was not working anyways good for them. And finally, they're down to their final timeout. 37 seconds left to go. Ottawa will look to try their third fourth down attempt this game. That is the third quarterback run for a fourth down, and this time it's good, and here they go. Ottawa still on the field. They will throw the ball down as McCall has many rushing yards already this game. Probably comparable, maybe not comparable to Salmon's, but he had for sure many carries already.
Yeah, that's something that I think you want to leave in the rearview mirror. To be honest, as you go into next week, I don't know that I would revisit that again. Of course, it puts a big target on him as well. It's a wonder he hasn't been injured.
Well, finally, Sammons gets the hand of him. Oh boy, Sammons finds an
wow.
opening at the edge. Can Sammons get home finally? Oh, and there's a tackle. They could have gone in for a touchdown, but oh, here you go. 17 seconds left, 15 seconds left. Everyone running into formation. 9 seconds left, 8 seconds left. They're still waiting for the referee to get in line. Oh, and finally the ball gets put down, and that stops the clock. McCall gives them 6 more seconds, and oh boy, what a last second, moment of excitement for Ottawa.
I got to give them credit. I mean, they really kind of lulled Albuquerque into thinking they were going to sneak it the whole way home. They come up with a field goal there, or excuse me, I'm sorry, a run play. I apologize for the miswording there. And they come up with a nice run play. And
that quarterback run trying to push all the way, and that did not give them enough time for another play. That will end the game. Cavalry 6, Albuquerque Adams 20. And in what has been a very unique, to say the least, game from Ottawa, we thought that their defense can hang on after going up 6-3, but instead Albuquerque showed that they are the more deserving team to win this game, and that their playoff hopes and their chances of keeping up with the leaders are still in there. They end the game with 20 points. What are your highlights of this game, Cameron?
yeah, the highlights has to be right there. You're seeing it on the screen as we speak. Ty Patak, and the way that he was able to spread the ball out. I mean, you got to see so many people in there getting in on the action tonight. I mean, Harrison, Idle, Wood, Leclerc, even Slap getting in. I mean, they really sprinkled this ball around, and in doing so, that opened up the run game for Josh Slap. So, I have to say, down the line, the defensive play by Albuquerque was fantastic. Ottawa did their best to stay with them. Offensive production for Ottawa just was not there in order for them to really maintain. And like I said, in the end, if I got to go with an MVP, I'm going with Ty Patak for tonight's game, because when it really counted, he showed up and played a magnificent game and was a great leader.
Well, here comes your player of the game. It is indeed Ty Patak with his 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, erasing the mark of his 1 interception, ending up with a 101 quarterback rating. Folks, that is the game as Albuquerque comes away with the win. We hope you enjoyed. And for Cameron, both Camerons actually, as Cameron Irvine and Truck, and my analyst Cameron Duty, thank you for watching and have a good night.